Welcome to another episode of the After the Whistle podcast. My name is Smyly and I'm joined by Gelder and Crack. It's been a good week, so as you can see, I'm in very high spirits. I don't know about a certain person from Chelsea, but for we the United people, we
Yeah,
are very
Charlie.
much in good
I
spirits.
know to
So
the last
make
few
us start with
instances,
Crack. Crack, how
it's
you
like
did? It's been a while.
every weekend, something day you pack, most of them you do, you pass put weekend and so Charlie. And it happens, say, if you record, either you tire, you don't come out late or anything, but it's good to be back. Make people not make you look like because we win against Liverpool way. It's not even about that. We discussed it way before the match. And I said I was going to be available on Monday. It was yesterday. I still had a family event to be at. So you go fit do your face some styles. We no care. It be coincidence. We talk for it. We get evidence. Smiley, you can put the screenshot today of the time you send the message. Make people not say then what Corey was saying. Make people not say your agenda. It be facts. So yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
So the whole thing be say it's just a nice coincidence that somehow United beats Liverpool where the stars align where we come back. So Charlie, anyway, Gelder, how you doing?
Uh, Hello to our listeners, and it's good to be back. I did single, but I for days, so I did.
Even we if we don't know, I no go ask what they do, but get to us soon.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So anyway, we have so much to talk about. So best place to start, and the reason why I'm in such high spirits is because Man United beat Liverpool 2-1 at Anfield on Sunday. Now it's the first victory for United at Anfield since the Louis Van Gaal era. So like it's been a while. I think it's been almost 10 years or something. So Charlie, it's been a while since we saw something like this. But obviously it's gotten a lot of conversations going, and particularly the most interesting thing I've seen is that Liverpool fans seem to be very fed up with Arne Slot, and a lot of them are actually asking for him to be sacked. And as a Man United fan who has been fed up with Ruben Amorim for the longest time, and seeing my fellow Man United fans saying that, oh no, we should give him time, this, that, it's very interesting to see a team that has a title winning manager asking for him to be fired just about 2 months into the season. So make us start with Crack. Liverpool fans, like, first of all,
Well,
are Liverpool in crisis because they've lost 4 games in a row?
if you are telling me you're in crisis, you've lost 4 games in a row, and you're still sitting 4 points from first place, and we are barely 8 games into the season. You are shouting for a coach that won the Premier League that prior to the season has lost a combined of 4 games also for you in all competition, and you are calling for him to be sacked. I think it's a new cool to just be doing that. They're just in their feelings. They're just in their feelings, shouting a lot. I'm not disagreeing with their complaints in the sense that um the coach has had it wrong a couple of times with the formation. And I remember I didn't have the podcast when they signed Isaac and all, but I remember talking about it. I saw a tweet about somebody saying that Liverpool is not a team that is built for, like, it's not built to be a star-studded 11 because it is built on the grit. Like, if you watch from, let's say, what's the name, Klopp, right? Even Klopp faced little issue with some issues with Mane and Salah because both were so good. They were competing in the same team, blah blah blah. He still managed it, but you do realize that they are not a team that they are supposed to have more than 5 stars because they are built. They traditionally have high work rate, work for each other. You have people that sit on the bench like RIP Diego Jota. Whether he starts or not, he doesn't mind. He's gonna come put in a shift. Slot came, still managed to win with them. I mean, City was in disarray, Arsenal bottled, blah blah blah. But once they signed Isaac, when I saw the tweet, it made sense that they were going to have trouble. And I also replied to that tweet and I alluded to it that, yeah, I don't think they needed Isaac after what Nketiah has showed them in the first couple of matches because the guy scored in his first match, scored in his second match. He was banging. Like, he was really banging. The team was clicking. Like, he knew he was going to be the starting nine. Everything was close. He can play from out to wide, anything. But they signing Isaac, it was like just to spite everyone. Because, yeah, they've spoken with him. They've made commitment. They have the money. They want to go for him no matter what. Forgetting that the big dog Salah too will have to eat. Isak will have to eat. No 90 million player will be comfortable sitting on the bench and not knowing what to do. You've already bought a 120 million player attacking midfielder that is so already not seeing top. So right now, what's your formation going to be? 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. Which is going to be on the is going to be on the bench. Why are you going to play Isak right now? Isak is not in form, but traditionally you have to be patient with him because you have another 90 million player that you bought that is already he had already hit the ground running, that is not suffering. Right now, you put him on the bench and starting Isak no matter what. And you even started him in a cup competition. He still banked 2 goals. Right. So it's making it look as if it's looking like a wrong decision that Isak is supposed to be the number 9 when the striker you bought is not bad. It's not like this is the situation of their old striker. What's the name? No milk. You understand?
Firmino
Like, everybody knew Nunes can come and
or
bank 2 goals, but
Nunes.
everybody knew Nunes is not supposed to start. This is not. Nketiah is very good. He is hard to dispose of the ball, That is the kind of player that EPL teams need and a team like Liverpool need because he brings Salah into play, helps Salah as well, and all those. But right now, it looks like Salah hasn't started the season well. So Salah too has to find his feet. But right now, I'm finding my own too. I have to be looking for the striker. It's going to look selfish. You understand? There's been times where it looks like Salah is disinterested in the team because the build up is all some way. Right. But I don't agree with calling the coach to be sacked. And also, I don't think Slot has dealt with big stars like this coming from Feyenoord. What he came to meet last season, he came to meet a team that is already motivated. He came into a team that people weren't really familiar with Slot. Right? He came not so much change, continued what this guy was doing. Um, uh, um, Klopp was doing before he left. Played the same formation, put the players at the right place. Trusted Gakpo, trusted the winger they sold to Bayern Munich, right? Trusted him, trusted Gakpo, rotated well. Javier Elliott came back from injury, was playing. Everything was clicking for them. Everything was clicking for them last season. And I said teams were generally down, City and the rest. Arsenal bottled it, and I'll still continue to see Arsenal bottled. They could have put on a huge title challenge, but yeah, he got it this season. I don't think he was entering the season thinking he was going to get 2 good strikers in Isak and Nketiah, and also Florent to get 120 million, 90 and 140 or whatever. Yesterday, you played Sabolai as number 10. How is Sabolai your most advanced attacking this one against United? Why? It was because if you are going to play Sabolai, play 4-3-3. Why are you playing 4-2-3-1 over there? There was a huge gap in midfield for both teams. And I don't know if people realize Liverpool's own, but there was a gap in midfield for Liverpool as well, just like United. Gravenberg did what he had to do, but Batman already had a head injury, so his head was gone in the game. So yeah, so I don't agree with Liverpool fans calling the sack. It's too early. It's too early.
Van Gelder, Liverpool, do they have a problem? Like, 4
They have a
games
big, they
in
have
a
a
row.
big problem. They have a massive problem, and the earlier they admit that they have a problem, the better it will be for them. Uh, Look, they've not started the season well. Even when they were winning, I remember saying that they've not moved me. Yes, winners find ways to win, but they were not playing well. I think the last episode we recorded with Fred, I kept making that point that you are not playing well. Somehow you are finding a way to win, but at some point that luck is going to run out, and now it has come to an end. They are not playing well. They've got their defense is not good. They've tried to replace Robertson, sorry, with Kerkez, who I've just always said he's not good. As for Frimpong is Frimpong, we all know. But for some weird reason, even though Frimpong is back fit, they've just decided to stick with Conor Bradley. Virgil van delegates to they do what they do best. Every day they delegate. Where the other guy to, good. Kunati. He to, good. I don't know, say they play for new contract. I don't know what's going on there. We warned you people about this Gravenberch guy. You people say we shouldn't say it. We'll say it, we'll see it, and the whole world will know that the truth was spoken. Their team is basically unbalanced. For a team that does not have a proper defensive midfielder, to have spent 400 and something million on attacking talent, that's just poor squad planning, in my opinion. They needed one, after they bought Veds, they didn't need both Nketiah and Isak. And I'm of the, yes, I get the idea, having, almost like a Drogba and Nelka kind of a situation where you have two very good strikers and they will kind of like compete with each other and force each other to score. The problem is that one of them is hungrier than the other. Isak has wanted this big move. He's got his big move. I'm not saying he doesn't want it to work or he's not going to work hard for Liverpool and be successful there. But signing Nketiah first meant that by signing Isak, Nketiah will be hungrier than Isak. But then Isak being the most expensive signing in the history of the Premier League also then means that the coach will be forced to play Isak ahead of Nketiah. And that is to the detriment of the team right now. After the Chelsea game, I fully expected that he will make certain changes and bring in a couple of, maybe play Frimpong ahead of Bradley because the Bradley guy, good. And probably start Nketiah ahead of Isak. Just take Isak out of the limelight just a little, right? Let Nketiah start and then let's see what they go on for that side. But for some weird reason, for 4 matches, you've done the same thing. And you keep losing and you keep doing the same thing. There's a definition for that thing. It's insanity. And I genuinely believe they are in big trouble because by the time they will find balance in their defense, midfield, and attack, the two people ahead of them, Manchester City and Arsenal, may have run away with it. I genuinely believe so. They have to fix something and they have to fix it fast. I don't know if Arne Slot has the tools to do it. It's a very different proposition to come into a settled squad and use them to win a league. It's a different proposition to take a non-settled a squad that doesn't have natural connections as they used to with some of the people within your spine now far along in age. Because me, that be the only thing I go fit take Salah in form put down to EB age. I know the one talk say Shamati. The fuck he the play no. Sorry. It's a big problem.
Is it not the case of the big contracts? Because we saw something similar happen with Aubameyang. We saw something similar with Ozil. Like if players sign new big contracts, no, they're down to Rashford and things. So
he be age. I don't want to talk say be age. I don't want to talk that one. No. Before them go can't talk say they hit on them money. So he be age. He's aging. That is why he's not doing. But I do believe that Liverpool are in a crisis. Anybody that thinks they're not is not looking at the things critically. Your £150 million player, or whatever verti money be, is not performing. He's not performing. I think what is it? 10 matches, no goal, no assist. That's damning, man. That's damning. And yeah, I get. But a lot of people say, oh, he needs time to settle. The very, very best of players actually don't need time to settle. If you're good, and that's it. But you still can't write them off because at some point we expect them to come good. But at this moment, as we're speaking, Monday, the 20th of October, Liverpool are in a crisis and they better set up and fix it fast.
But I mean, I get that is a major problem when you're losing 4 games in a row and all of that. But is it not a bit too premature? Because they've gone through a huge transition period. Some might say it's an unnecessary transition period because when you're a title winning team, you don't need to do too many changes. You don't need to do the level of changes that they made. But regardless, they've signed two big money strikers. They've signed vets. They signed a new left back. Trent has left. They've signed a new right back. So that's a lot of change to adjust to. So is it not like the natural adjustment period that they are going through, rather
Yes,
than
a natural
any?
and you see, a natural adjustment period might happen, but that will normally be expected to happen at the very, very, very beginning, not after 5 matches where you've won the 5 or won 4 and drawn 1 or whatever it is that their record was after the first 5 games, right? And the other problem is that when you watch them play as a football club, all phases of play is very, very, very disjointed. Their defense, they don't know how to build up. And I know this is very crazy to say, but Liverpool can't seem to figure out how to build up. They don't know whether to go long or come short because there's nobody showing for the pass. And this is where their bigger players and more experienced players, such as Virgil van Dijk, such as Mo Salah, must step up and be counted. Do you understand? When the coach has prepared a formation or a tactic or whatever, you've started the game, the first 10, 15 minutes, you are realizing it's not going well. You are experienced enough and you have enough credit in the bank to bend that tactic and do something different. Just a little bit. What they do, they can't keep the ball. They can't defend transitions. They can't seem to attack. They can't seem to create chances for Isak. They can't seem to even find Isak in the first place. So, yes, you might say it's a normal pains of a team that is settling into their new players. But you have something working. I don't want to say that it's immediately Isak started joining starting 11 and then they started looking this disjointed because the midfield was already disjointed when, even without Isak, when it was just Nketiah, there was already a big problem. I remember the game, the first game against Bournemouth, the 4-2, the amount of space, acres of space that Gravenberch has to defend by himself. The problem also is that you hear Arne Slot and then you hear Gravenberch themselves speak, and then you hear that Gravenberch has been told to do a lot more attacking work, kind of like bomb forward a lot more. Why? It's not like you have a maverick of a midfielder in a defensive midfielder there that Gravenberch can bomb on and go and join the attack. You've not figured that bit out. You forgot to sign one of those players. So if you've not done that, you stick to what works. Let Gravenberch sit. Let him screen and protect the back four. And then let McAllister and Smyly or McAllister and Nketiah, he, for instance, has to be benched. I don't know what midfield, how do you call it, what midfield connection they are going to make. But if Vert is not playing well, McAllister is not playing, just bench them and play Gravenberch with Smyly as a midfield too, and then pull Nketiah behind Isak. Let Nketiah and Isak play together. Somehow, because of how good they are, they may figure something out up top. I saw a video where they said that Slot this season is like Ancelotti 2 years ago last year at Real Madrid. I have these attacking stars. So let's just find some way and get the ball to them and then leave it to them and let them do what they have to do. But the way the Premier League is set up this season and the way the Premier League is evolving, you can't just use that kind of tactic to try and win games. It won't work. Teams will game out and plan. Yesterday's game came out complaining United always play with what did they call it? Zeshko.
Is it
Where
Sheshko always a starter? Right now they can't face
right now,
Liverpool. Start like
no,
which
that
kind?
that's so stupid. That is such a stupid excuse. And I know some people might say, oh, maybe you're taking it out of context or whatever. Damn the context. You can't tell me that as a manager of a big club, you can't anticipate that opponents will change their tactics and the way they play when they face you. You are the damn champions.
Forget that one, safe.
I,
He Vets no always
I,
doesn't Vets always start.
I've
Did
actually
Vets start that
come
game?
to
So
believe that
like everybody make
Things
changes
sometimes,
fine.
and can't have bridge.
yeah,
They start having you.
they know what they are doing, and I think some of these coaches say this ridiculous things to draw attention to themselves and what they say to take pressure off their team, right? And I believe that because I don't think it's that dumb enough to genuinely believe that teams aren't supposed to game plan for a particular team when you are the better team. We came as underdogs. Bro, we've not won in your home ground for 9 years. Our best is always a draw. All right, for 9 years now. And we are coming to your place where we know that one. You guys thrive on the press. You do well on the press. And you have two huge defenders at the back that aerial balls, nobody. So what we are going to do is we'll kick along and we'll fight for the second balls, which worked for us. Because once it comes on the ground, our players are strong enough to battle. Cunha, Mbuemo, Mount, Casemiro, and Bruno, they are aggressive enough to jump on you, right? And even Ahmad. Ahmad is an excellent ball winner. People might not give him that record, but he's an excellent ball. He's smart enough. So why can't we game plan for you like that? Bruh, we've even used an Amorim. We use a game plan where Lukaku will knock it down to Rashford. But that time we knew Lukaku was strong enough and good in the air to battle Van Dijk and the rest. So all this thing,
See, Craig, sorry, but look, the thing you said is so ridiculous to me because no offense here, I don't even think United were brilliant. United were good and they were 100% deserving to win the game. For Manchester United to come to Anfield, not be brilliant, just be good, just be competent, and look like they absolutely had to win that game and deserve to win that game, you can't tell me it's not a problem. It's a very, very, very big problem. And if you're a coach, you should be worried. Not because it's Man United. The point I'm making is a team didn't have to be absolutely brilliant.
No, when they
to
actually
look like they deserve to win.
Can you guys hear me?
They just had to be competent, to be good.
When it actually comes to
That's
these matches, you don't have to be brilliant though. Luck plays a role, game plan plays a role, right? We played Liverpool where we've been absolute brilliant, stuck to everything. They still found a way to come back. We've played against Liverpool where 40 minutes we defended well, stuck to our playing. They scored the first goal, 43rd minute. We ended up losing by 7. All I'm saying is that we played Liverpool when they were languishing in midfield, in mid-table. Ferguson was still struggling to beat them. So when it comes to these rivalry matches and these matches, I don't really want to stick to, like United had to be brilliant, dominant. No. I hear you. I understand that point where you're saying that United weren't overly impressive to do that. But per our form and what you've seen, to us, were impressive. Liverpool this season has been shaky. They concede a lot. Also, throughout the game, when they attacked, even when they came back, we knew that United would still get a chance to either worry them, attack, because they've been fragile at the back. And that's why Roy Keane was like, Virgil van Dijk, it starts with you. Look in the mirror. Because if you are complaining about you consider weak goal with the Maguire that like defending, blah, 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 and all those, bro, the first goal, you were jogging back. It has been, everybody saw you are supposed to marshal the back. I agree with you when I say that, yeah, they haven't been at their best and United didn't have to be excellent to win. But bro, if you really relax and see, you realize that United executed a game plan well. And for the first time, let's not, when we jump into that, I'll talk about my keeper, but let's not go there.
If in fact, since you brought that one up, me if I even won't ask because now that you've brought up United being good and executing game plan and all of that, Kakabega, I ask you, have United turned the corner? Because finally, after almost a year, Ruben Amorim has won back-to-back league games. So, and if you're looking at things, he's beaten Liverpool, he's beaten Chelsea, albeit with 10 men. So, is this a sign that Charlie things have changed?
Personally,
I'm
still not convinced yet.
Amorim out.
Because, truth be told, Amorim does well in the big matches. The players turns up in the big matches. It's always the matches against the bottom teams or the mid-table teams that we always have a head loss. So I want us to actually have a good record where 7 wins, we lose 2, something crazy like that. It's like 10 games, we go on a winning streak. Like, we have a team capable of that. So I wouldn't think we've turned a corner. It's just crazy that in 8 matches, we've played Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. Like, do you get it? In and Man City, you understand? In this one, and Man City, we lost woefully. So I
Man
don't
City.
really. I'm a simple guy. Give me a win, I will jump because we've been starving. We've been starved of win. So give me a win, I'll be happy. I'm a United fan. I love the team. There's nothing I can do. I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to a match wishing that Amorim has to lose. Also, the old man Jim has said he's going to stick with him. I don't think we've turned the corner. We are just enjoying this win because we are taking it a game at a time. And because it's Liverpool and they banter and they were so sure they were going to smash us, they were going to use us to recover, blah, blah, blah. Everything around it, surrounding it, it's beautiful for us to, because we've suffered. We've not won in Anfield in 9 years. He's the first coach in 5 seasons to win at the Etihad and Anfield. He has done well, but then again, he's also the first coach that has broken a lot of record at United as well. So I don't think we've turned the corner. I just want us to go on a streak because we are playing once a week for crying out loud. We are playing once a week. We should be winning matches. We should not be losing to Brentford and since by 3 goals. Like, nah, that's wild. Do you get it? We shouldn't be. We should actually be smashing teams. Just if not even smashing teams, if we go, as I said, if 5 games we win 4, lose 1, or even win 3, draw 1, lose 1, it's something that is going to be encouraging. But not yet, not yet. Our first back-to-back win in over a year.
You know, like you were saying, United tend to do well in the big games under Amorim, and that one you can't always chalk it down to the manager because big games like the motivation comes from within the players. Certain players they just turn up for the big games. I don't even want to divert, but like Black Stars, for example, you see how they play in World Cup qualifiers as against AFCON qualifiers. Because like that one, the motivation, the coach doesn't even need to say much. They know that go motivate them body. So like me, I would honestly be more impressed with United if maybe in the big games we did draw every like against against Chelsea and Liverpool that we beat. We probably drew against them, and then instead we're beating the Brentfords and the Bournemouths and those other mid-table teams because under Amorim, those are the teams that have given us the most problems. The mid-table teams, those teams that are just fighting to sneak into Europa, Crystal Palace, those teams. But beating the big teams or playing well against the big teams, I don't think it tells us much about who we are. So that's really like you're saying. I don't believe that anything has changed yet. I'm still looking, and like you said, Sir Jim has already said that he's given Amorim 3 years. So whether I ball or no ball, the guy get 3 years. I'm not going to be here hoping that we lose, then something will happen. Like Charlie, once he's here, I'll try and make the best of what we have. But just briefly on the Liverpool thing, Ekitike Isak, that problem, I'll just say that Liverpool, they put themselves in a difficult position. They put themselves and Isak in a difficult position because I think I truly don't believe that they went into the window trying to sign 2 strikers for over 90 million pounds. I think the plan was to get one person, but because the Isak deal was delaying, and I think at some point everybody thought it was not going to happen, they went on to their plan B. And then when the Ekitike thing happened, and then the Isak window opened again, it was kind of like, okay, Isak, we forced you to burn all your bridges as Newcastle. Now we can't leave you hanging. We forced you to do all of this. So, like, I think it was a difficult position that they were in, and they just decided that, okay, we've gotten Ekitike, and we've also made a lot of money in sales. So, maybe we just bring Isak to and then see how it goes. But I don't think it will ever be a good idea to sign 2 strikers in one window for 90 million pounds. And I tweeted it today. Liverpool fans, they come talk plenty, and I'm just laughing in my head because if it was Chelsea who went and signed 2 strikers for 90 million pounds in one window, like that one, then go understand the problem. If it be United self, we go do that thing, then go understand why it's not a good idea to
Liverpool
sign.
fans can see the problem of everybody's team except their own,
Exactly.
and that's one of their biggest problem. They, them then Arsenal fans get some way be. They have the best players in every position. That be hard in the Martin. We have the best in every position.
Trent was
If
the
you
best
use your
right
team
back in
with
the world until he said he wanted to go to Real Madrid. Right now, they said this guy, he don't even know how to defend in positioning the back.
I
and
think
actually they go
I
there say
think
there's Bradley at home.
I think generally
Say
people
you know.
forget how terrible
Say you
Liverpool
know.
fans are because they've been in a gulag for a long time. People don't know how like how annoying Liverpool fans are.
That's a
Anyway.
quick one on Manchester United. Yeah, I do agree with you guys because even if you watch yesterday's game, there was, bro, why every time Bruno Fernandes they do that thing, they left that big gap, make Casemiro away, he chop 84,000,000 years, make EP cover like the space meant. Bro, teams use 3 midfielders to cover the space that they leave for Casemiro to cover alone. And it's like Amorim,
So,
either he doesn't see,
no, let me tell you
or
something.
he refuses to see.
You know the idea is different from the
So-
execution. The reason why I'm saying that is with the kind 3 centre backs he's playing, right? Every day one of the centre backs is supposed to move into midfield. He doesn't have Martinez. Martinez is the only defender in our setup that can actually push into midfield and cover up in midfield because he has experience playing DM. And so let me finish.
But that's a problem. If you've set up a sorry, Krakow, but if you set up a
but
tactic, that is
the other player,
and you have only one
the
talent
other
that can do
player
that
that
work
can
you
do
need
it
your
is
defender to do. And that
Lenny
talent too is not he's
but
not
he
injured nowadays.
sacrifices Euro for sure. That is the problem. Do you get it?
And you see, and that's the thing. So fundamentally, what you're saying is you don't have enough players good enough to play the way your manager wants to play.
The
So
manager should have
has
signed
to change the way
a central
he plays
midfielder
in order that
all.
he can
He should have
utilize
signed one.
better.
He should have signed one. It's just not about that. We still had an opportunity. Let me tell you something, right?
This
formation he plays with Bruno and
maybe
Casemiro,
this season
it will not work. That's why when Smyly was saying that we turn the corner, I know we haven't because it's even the small teams that have exposed us. I'm surprised that Liverpool even Liverpool yesterday said they were finding spaces, but they were hitting the bar, they were hitting the woodwork. Their shots for some reason were going this one. Hey, you understand? The issues are still there. Bruno jumps. Smyly, how many times have we not complained about this in the group chat? Even he has identified it. He has said Bruno is not positionally sound. You still play him there. Even Bruno has alluded to the fact that his best matches has been with him playing closer to the goal, playing at his best position, number 10. You are still forcing him there. At this point,
Bruno now talking, hey, I shall for this position.
because you have no reason not to rotate.
But I'm saying
Anyway, let's.
No, wait. Hey, Smyly, cool down.
Let's move on. Let's move on from this. Let's come back home to Ghana.
I get one
where the
thing
Black Stars have secured qualification.
I know say you know the go church, right? I know say you know the go church. But Van Gelder, are you familiar with the Book of Lamentations, right? Yeah, familiar with how you know the premise of that book talks about like suffering, how the people of Judah were treated. I mean, and how like no matter what, you should pray, trust in God, take your sorrows and issues and all. You come through to you and all this. And for years, we had Onana. We went to get Turkish mafia. Even Turkish national team, you know they get some catch. These were our two keepers. Our third keeper is old enough to bond all of us by the youth football age. We were always lamenting. United fans were always lamenting.
Yeah.
We were crying. Some black people even became racist. And the book of, my God, right now we started the hashtag. My keeper is a white man. My keeper should be white. Imagine, we suffered and lament. We lamented to God and cried out to God. Let me finish. God listened to us and brought us sending laments We lamented a God laments. He who is broken hearted, come to Jesus now. Hey God. Hey Nyami. Thank you.
See, I remember Kawawa saying that black goalkeepers are not good, and I was fighting. I said, Kawawa, you are racist. I said, Kawawa, you hate your own people. But you know what? I've seen some black goalkeepers, and I say
honestly,
goalkeeping is an art reserved for a particular
if
race.
blasters we
That's
wish
all I
have like
can
we
say.
go get white man make catch for we. I don't like.
That's all I can say.
Anyway,
Because
speaking of Black Stars, we secured qualifications to the World Cup over the past international break,
can't say
and
same for some people.
the conversation immediately switched to some prodigal sons who are suddenly talking about wanting to come into our food, and namely Benjamin. I can't talk Benjamin Nketiah.
Hey,
Shout out to Benjamin Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah and Callum Hudson-Odoi. In fact, Hudson-Odoi, because namely say we could not call him Odoi. He said Odoi. So the whole conversation over the past week has been about how suddenly those two players have expressed their willingness to come back into the come into the Black Stars fold ahead of the World Cup. And it's triggered a lot of conversation, particularly because in the past we know that we've approached them, we've tried to get them to come and play for us. In fact, Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's actually played for England before. I think he made one cap for them like in 2019 or something, back when he was good. Eddie Nketiah too, I think he was called up, but I'm not too sure whether he played. But the whole point is that they are eligible to play for Ghana, and now they are very much willing to play for Ghana. But it's caused a lot of conversation, a lot of controversy, because it's a very split and polarizing conversation, because there's one camp that is firmly saying that these players should not be brought back into our fold under any circumstances. There's others who are saying that, okay, these guys, they can bring something that we don't have, they can make us better. So we should consider it. So let me start with Van Gelder, because Callum Hudson-Odoi is an ex-Chelsea player, so you are very familiar with him and his story. Do you think the Black Stars should consider? I'm not even saying they should automatically call him up just because he's made himself available, but do you think the Black Stars should consider calling up Callum Hudson-Odoi and Eddie Nketiah?
And Black Stars should consider calling up everybody that's eligible to play. Anybody that's eligible to play in good standing, very good player, should be considered. Out of consideration, they will go to consider everybody. As to whether they should actually be called, it should be based on merit, improvement to the team, and something that will not disrupt team cohesion. I believe that that's a very important step. Like all the pain points of this Black Star squad, of all the pain points of this coaching staff and everything, it seems finally, and it looks like they are all on the same page. I'm not gonna get fooled by AFCON World Cup qualifiers and whatnot, because it's the same thing that couldn't make it to the AFCON. In December, I have to be going to the office and be watching my Nigerian colleague throw me every single day that we are not there. So it is a big problem for me, right? But at least now it seems like there's a good mix and balance from the technical side, the coach, the assistant coaches, the set piece coach, who seems to be making some kind of effect, or having some kind of effect on the play, especially from set piece perspective, goalkeepers coach, and all of those things. This technical director guy, the older German guy, I don't know his name, who've all come together, seem to be working well together, and throwing a variance of ideas at Otuado, who is also doing his best and implementing them. And we are seeing a certain level of variance in the play of the Black Stars. It even reflects in the kind of players that he has called up lately. There's a lot more balance to the Black Star squad that he calls nowadays, and a lot less noise around it. right? And on the field of play, it seems like, I read an article, or I watched a video of senior journalist Governor Akotubafo talking about the fact that, uh, you know, Jordan might be the captain that we needed, that we didn't know we needed. But obviously, since he's become captain, you can tell that there's a lot less friction and animosity between camps in the Black Stars. And the players just all seem to vibe well together. He rolls his sleeves up, he does his job. Everybody comes on the pitch, they do their jobs. There's a lot less, Ghanaians complain a lot less about the Black Stars now than they used to before. So, having done all the work to build the squad to this point, that must be one of the biggest considerations you have. Team cohesion, team chemistry. I'm not saying that by calling Callum Hudson-Odoi or Nketiah or any other player anywhere, Francis Amuzu or whoever, that is going to change anything. I'm just saying that is also a factor to consider. But anybody that is eligible to play for the Black Stars, again, operative word, eligible, should be considered. We're going to the World Cup. It's the best of the best. We're going to meet the best of the best. We'll meet some Intoms teams too. Hopefully we get some in our group and we're able to qualify and make out of it. But in the event that we don't, then what? We want to put ourselves in the best possible position to go deep into the tournament, to do well and represent the country well. Like, if Black Stars the first World Cup, if you dey sleep safe, it's sweet. Even if then they give you light off safe, it's nice. If we want the cost safe, you know the mind like that. If Black Stars win, you dey go work, you make cocoa tea for your car in back, your steering wheel in back, you dey give you the aircon, you dey buy the cocos and mama and they're Tuesday, for the account. And that kind of vibe. There's a certain air in the atmosphere when Black Stars is doing well. And so we want to do everything possible and go as far and as deep in the World Cup as possible so that Ghanaians can be happy and proud of the team. And so I wouldn't say, oh, these people play to qualify, so let them, but on the other hand too, you have to consider all the other factors I've listed before. So personally, my opinion is pretty simple. Consider everybody that is eligible to play for Ghana and pick the best possible squad. I know that we will have certain players in there for local content and economic content and those are there. But as far as the players that are being picked, the overwhelming majority are actually there to do a good job and they are the best possible we can find. I don't mind a couple of these 1-2 being mixed together. Do you get? So everybody that is eligible to play for Ghana should be considered. That one, I'll say it's only fair. But whether they actually get a call up or not, well, it depends on the authorities. It depends on how Ghanaians feel. Depends on the coach. I don't know.
So for me, the conversation has been very, I don't know, I feel like Ghanaians we tend to have a very, an overly emotional view of the Black Stars, which is understandable, but it gets emotional to the point where it goes beyond logic. Because now I've seen, you see conversations like, for example, if you know play the qualifiers, you know for come the World Cup, they know for consider you for the World Cup.
So somebody that played the qualifiers gets hurt. Then what?
I don't think there's any footballing nation, there's any serious footballing nation that even considers this angle. Because even, let's say England, for example, if right now Harry Kane lose form before the World Cup and he goes on a goal drought for the rest of the season, he doesn't score, his place is going to be in jeopardy. Here's the thing. Let me make her finish.
Make a point. Sorry.
Let's say Harry Kane goes off form for the rest of the season, he doesn't score any goals, and then say another striker, some hot superstar striker, like just comes scoring goals. Some Gelap is just scoring left and right. He scores maybe say 30 goals between now and the end of the season. It's very likely that even if Harry Kane goes, he might even lose his place in the starting 11, because that's just how these teams operate. It's like nobody has a set place in the team unless the coach is somebody who says that, okay, these are my people. You have a Deschamps or something who says these are my people, these are the people I trust regardless, they're going to go. But in almost every high performing team, everybody is always fighting for their position. The goalkeeper doesn't have a set position. The midfielders, the defenders, everybody's at every point in time fighting for their position. So there's a reason why at some point this guy is always starting. After a few games, maybe he goes off form or something, then go drop him. Jadon Sancho was starting England games how many years ago? After he joined Man United, he's barely sniffed a place in the national team again. That's just how teams operate at that level. So for me, when people say if you know play the qualifiers, for me that angle it has never really made sense to me, because if you are not going to the World Cup as a family, you are going to the World Cup to go and compete. So at every point in time, you should be considering your best possible options. I'm not saying, if anything, my problem would be that I think some Ghanaians have this idea that, okay, if this person, they come from this country, he's better than what we have. In fact, over the past weekend, I don't know whether it was on Sporty FM or something, there was this guy who was talking about this situation, and he was saying that Nketiah and Hudson-Odoi, they are better than anything we have in the national team right now. That's where I have a problem.
You see, that's a big lie, because if we want to talk about that, sorry, Smyly for hijacking it. Look, I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm a big fan of Callum. I live in Nottingham, right? So, also, I'm a Nottingham Forest fan, kind of. But, look, it's not true. It's not true. Let's not tell lies just to carry favor with people. It's not true. We can go to the World Cup perfectly without them too. And whatever our position, they wouldn't add 5% more to what we've got already. They won't. Let's call a spade, and let's talk. Let's tell the truth. Sometimes I know that the guy, sometimes he just says things just to carry a reaction and whatnot, because be like that sometimes. But sometimes let's be serious. Let's be serious. They are not far better than anybody we've got or anything of the sort. They are good players that could be useful in certain scenarios and whatnot. But me, every day I look at Nketiah and I wonder, probably he should have made his mind up about England a long time ago. Look, he's England's under-21 record holder for goals scored. And what did England reward him with? A total of 1 cap for the Three Lions. One cap. So if you've been rewarded with 1 cap, it doesn't look like you are going to get any more opportunity to play for England. Bro, what do you do? It might not feel good though, but you carry yourself boko. Then you go where at least you go get some play. You go get some play. How long have we been chasing Callum? Every December we go talk. Oh, maybe you go come. Then fiam, will come.
But one of my problems with these things is that I feel like Ghanaians in general tend to simplify or oversimplify the decision that these players have to make when it comes to playing for the Black Stars, because I think they just put themselves, they just look at it from their own perspective. Like me, I grew up for some Medina where I try jackpot to in UK or US or something. So if I dare here where somebody offer me the chance, should I play for England or should I play for Ghana? How difficult would it be? How difficult of a decision would it be? Because I be Ghanaian, but this be my second country. I feel like in general they oversimplify the decision the players have to make. They don't see it from the perspective that, like you're saying, Nketiah was born in England. All his friends are English. Everything he's ever known are related to England. He played for the England youth teams, probably under 10s, under 12s, under 15s. He grew up in that system. If anything, his link to Ghana is just through his parents. He did, maybe every now and then he might come to Ghana for a vacation or something. But in the end, the decision is not as simple as it might seem to somebody who has not grown up there, or who it's not a simple decision that this guy, you just turned your back on Ghana and you went to choose the flashier country. It's actually a very, very difficult decision, because most likely even your mates that you grew up with, they are also in the England national team right now playing for them. you yourself, everything about you feels English. If they ask you, make you recite Ghana national anthems, if you don't know them. So it's a very, very difficult decision. If anything, if anything, you're just lucky that maybe you have a backup plan in that Ghana, you have a second country that if your first choice doesn't work out, then your second choice D. And for me, apart from all of that too, like you should also understand that like even when players are choosing which country to play for and everything, like even the environment and everything also comes into play. As we did here right now, Ghana, if Accra Sports Stadium we go play match for there, and the grass is looking even half decent, it's like a national discussion. Hey, Accra Sports Stadium, the grass they look very nice. So, like at our level, and you're saying that like a player who has a choice to play for us or to play for another country where all of these things just come naturally, it shouldn't be a difficult decision because even the type of pitches you play on can determine like your injury record, like can determine like how you perform and everything. So it's like there are so many things to consider when you're looking at these things. Like even you look at all the situations we've had in the past with Brazil, the World Cup in Brazil where we had to fly money. Like you don't hear these things when it comes to other countries. Like there's so much disorganization that comes with playing for Ghana that is not as simple as okay, do you want to play for the country of your heritage? Like there's so many things that go into determining whether you play for the country. So it's not always a situation where, like, I feel like when you hear that a player has chosen to play for this country or that country, people like to attach maybe some form of malice to the decision in that this guy, he mafia we, basically, in choosing to play for that country. But really, there's so much that goes into choosing to play for that country that it shouldn't just be written off that this guy turned his back on us. Like, and lastly, for me, I also have a problem with Ghanaians generally holding players to a higher standard than we hold ourselves to. Because like 99% of the people who they attack the players say they go choose to play for England or whatever. If they offer you chance right now, make you denounce your Ghanaian passport and they go offer you UK passport or they go offer you US passport, I promise you there's plenty of people grab that opportunity with both hands. And that's where I have a problem because you're talking about players who are mostly illiterate or half illiterate, like players who it was either football or then go day streets. Like those are the two options. And you're holding them to standards that you are not going to hold yourself to. And that's where my problem is. Like there is a more complicated decision than most people make it seem. So for me, like you said, it all comes down to does this guy make us better? If he does, consider it. But I really don't like that line of argument where it's like this guy no play qualifiers, so make you no consider him. Or this guy he chose to play for this country, the country no choose him, so let's close the door to him. Like it's a very, very complicated decision that you shouldn't look at completely emotionally. It should always come down to does this guy improve us? Does this guy make us better? Does he have something that we don't already have? And that's why if you ask me right now, Callum Hudson-Odoi, I would say that I don't really want it because I feel like Ghana, we are very stacked on the wings. But if you ask me about Nketiah, it will be a more complicated decision for me because Ghana, like when it comes to strikers, we just don't produce good strikers. Like since I started watching Ghana, the only reliable striker we've produced is Asamajan. We've produced so many strikers who they might perform for their clubs every now and then, but when it comes to the national team, something just happens. Abdul Majid Waris, I had so much faith in him. He gets to the national team, nothing. There's so many other examples of that. So, like for me, if I think that you have something that we might need, fine. I'm always open to it. But if not, then Charlie, let's consider our better options. It just comes out to that. But Crack,
I just want to add one before Crack comes in. I just want to add one other thing that most people also miss is that for dual nationals, yeah, there's always that feeling of not belonging anywhere. You go this side, then we'll use it for the other side, say, oh, so that be your side there. So we there here, we know be your people. Cool, go there that side. You go that side, They go talk, them two, them go talk, say, no be your people, then they call you.
And
You know,
even
and
to add to that, Ghanaians, we tend to scapegoat the dual nationals when things go bad. So if things
yeah,
don't go well, suddenly, yeah, it be this guy where he
if
come
this guy
where
way, you know, the feel,
also, who remembers that time when Ghana had Kwarase, where we get Fatah Dauda, where they say the defenders they prefer Fatah Dauda because Kwarase know they speak Ga, so they know they feel control, like they feel communicate with the defenders. That
you don't
feeling
know,
of not feeling
hmm.
part of like the core team,
It not be
it
that
will
then they
always be
tell me
there.
I did say somebody that be why they do that be what they do. They feel organized and the defenders they like in communication better. Then they feel safe. The you know make a left hand for them.
Anyway, so Kak, what do you make of this whole situation? Hudson-Odoi and Nketiah.
Uh, I quite agree with a lot of things Smiley have said. Right. I mean, I joined late. I was having internet issues where I joined, and I was hearing the part where people make it sound like it's an easy decision. And whether we like it or not, these two young boys were actually dubbed the future for of three lions. Right from the youth rank and all. Hudson-Odoi was tagged as one of the best wingers coming out of the youth system and even in Chelsea. You understand? The boy was very, 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 very talented. Nketiah led the under 20s, right, in goal scoring and things. He was a wonder kid, but for some reasons, he only had one call up in England. But then he was never really established as a number 9 starting striker for Arsenal, and also, bro, he came in an era where he was competing with a lot of number 9s, right? If he was in an era where it was Danny Welbeck and all those people, he might have gotten a chance. But you come in with Harry Kane, Tony, the Aston Villa striker, what's his name? Um, uh,
Watkins.
Watkins and all of those things, bro. You aren't gonna get some to play, and it's not really his fault. He comes inside, banks for Arsenal, super sub, and all those things, bro. The only time he was probably established was when he went on loan to was it Leeds or something like that, where he was playing as a starting striker. Coming to Arsenal, no, he went to Crystal Palace. Everybody thought, okay, this is a time, but he messed the beast in Mateta as well. But the few time he played, he did well. But it wasn't like to the extent where, like, mind you, he's only like what 26, isn't he? Like 26 or so. Like he's
26, yeah.
still
Just
young.
26.
He's not in his prime. He's still young. You understand? But I think we do overvalue ourselves, right? Because mind you, we go knocking on their doors. If you say you have pride, don't knock on anybody's door. That's my first one. If you come and knock on my door, I have a chance to treat you anyhow I want. Because UK, let's not forget, let's not act as if we also don't know how the GFA and Ghanaians treat these players when they also come. How impatient we are. Like I was going to talk about the Kwarase thing and you said it. Bro, they literally went to the coach and said that they can't communicate in local language because there's a gap. Are you mad? Walla court came. So now they were doing. And they weren't safe. He's shaking in pool, blah, blah, blah. We wanted. And you had people, radio stations, people talking about that. Because Omunyi now they are pushing their players. Let's not act as if we don't discard them when we don't need them again. These people don't have anybody that fights for them like that. You will have a local player, Wasan, but we cheer. They'll call him no matter what, even when he doesn't. Look, Inaki came. Inaki wasn't banging goals. See how the narrative changed on Inaki. Please, so did Quincy Osabi play any qualifiers for us before going to Can 2008? Did Prince Watson play any qualifiers for us before going to 2010 World Cup?
What is the qualifier?
Did Inaki play any
Otuado
qualifier
himself, how many
before?
qualifiers he played before the 2006 World Cup?
And minus the reasons people are using to bash them isn't quite like sound to me. Right now, where we are, our talent level has gone up. I'm not gonna lie. We have this is for a long time in a while. Like even when Achu was playing for us well, Achu had gone to Newcastle. He was still hitting the ground, right? He was still inconsistent. He went to Turkey, right? This is the first time where we can mention 4 players in England that are on top of their game, that they are in the team. I remember the last time we can do that. Right? Ishaku, he's a bona fide starter for Leicester. You have Semenyo, one of the best players in the EPL. You have Kudus, another beast. You have Pate. I mean, Pate has moved from Arsenal, right? He's a starter in Villarreal, right? Jordan is the only one that is still. But then we can actually mention players. Jiku,
Kamal Dean
right?
too is also picking up at
Kamal
Atlanta.
Dean picking up. You understand? So we don't need a player like Hudson-Odoi. Odoi, as coach you say, Odoi. For him, we don't need him. I don't even know why we are going to worry ourselves for that. Because we have Kamal Dean and Suleiman and this fucking 3-back system this coach plays, which I don't like. Limiting our attackers. It's not utilizing our strength. I don't like it. So we have Kamal Dean and Ishaku over there on the bench. What do we need Odoi for? And another reason why I don't even want them or we should go for them is me personally, Otuado, Wabon. I don't want a situation where we'll go and bring these players and they'll come and say chemistry issues. We should have allowed the coach to use his players. So, cause bringing this will worry the chemistry. He did well to good and right. I went to bring players that are not his players. Hey, take this squad. Or Bombia, no excuse. People act as if like, look, me, I have said it. If my kid brother plays, they are dual citizens. If they decide to play for America, you think I'll tell them to come to Ghana? For what? You think I don't know how they treat players here? Why would I want that? The time that they were hitting their strides, that they were looking at being called up at England, when they were interviewing them, what should they say? Okay, they have no pride in the country where they were born. Oh, senior man. Like, people were bringing up interviews of them talking about it's been like they've been looking forward to this call up, blah blah blah. On Conquer Day. At that time, like I don't get it. Like, bro, the guy was like what 21. That was like 21 or so. On your day. Like, do you get it? Why should I even at that time look at like people like why don't we act like Africa? We have to fix our home and fix our problems before we look elsewhere. Like there are so many issues when they come, they are so baffled. See Prince Boateng till now. I'm telling you that Prince Boateng, even though he came to ball and went to AC Milan, he still regrets coming to Ghana. Because when you listen to like what happened in 2014 and things, that pain that they carry, when they listen to them, it's like, bro, like shit. Even though he helped me, like he did it for the nation, he did it for the people that, but deep down, the GFA, like our leaders, but it's so bad. Anytime they come and they are talking. So let's not act like, okay, if they don't come for Black Stars, their career is going to go. No. They are English. This guy can get to play in a Bournemouth or a lower team. He hits stride. He goes again. He will be called back to England. This isn't a big deal. Obviously, if you tell me that Ghana is going for the World Cup right now, I don't look like playing for Three Lions. I'll say my options are open. Kaminka Day. Like, what should I say? That, oh, I don't regard. No. I don't understand what. I'm not supporting the call-up for them. I just want this narrative to die, this thing to die. If you have pride, like the coach has said, I would rather keep this. That's fine. One last thing I'll say. We are in an era where we don't have proper strikers. If you watch the Ghana, you realize you don't have finishers. One thing about Nketiah is, the Arsenal fans were hating Nketiah. That guy is dangerous, can score out of Nothing. If we are actually going, if we have to go for one of the two, I'll take Nketiah. The guy is deadly, no matter what. He might waste chances, but that guy is deadly. He's clutch. I can have him and Inaki on the bench. I don't mind. If you start Jordan, they start. This formation limits us. This 5-back limits us a lot. Play your regular 4-2-3-1. Kudus on the right, Semenyo on the left, Jordan behind the striker, whatever. If you start Inaki, bring Nketiah out. Mind you, disclaimer, I'm not saying we should call them. I'm just saying if there's one person we can go for, let's go for Nketiah. Odoi, we have his type over there. He and Kamal Dimi, I don't know the difference. It's branding right now. It's only branding. That's what they used to insult Kamal Dimi. And they'll say they'll choose Odoi. But yeah, I don't see the difference like that. But all this talk about it look like, maybe they come up for that guy. They don't need you. Yeah, right now, if you go, now beside me say, like, if you come and call me for this, at this point, I obviously say yes. But they're acting as if, like, they'll pick up the phone to call the GFA to say that, hey, I'm ready, call me. No, that's not the case. You've been knocking on their door, and it's not an easy decision. They have to look up so many things. We all know this. But my last advice to them is, if they also want us to believe, they should switch the nationality and wait after the tournament that we come for them. Honestly, because remember, this guy at the point said you play for Black Star, the defender, right? What's his name?
Salisu.
Salisu said he wasn't going to play for Black Stars. Back and forth, Chimamichu, we called him, sir. He had an ass in 2022 World Cup. He was one of the worst defenders in the World Cup. For all you know, it might go that way for them to switch, come back later after the tournament. That's all I can say. But let's stop acting as if people are calling their names ungrateful. People are calling them all. Like, bro, like, what do you want them to say? Just don't call them. You have an option not to call them. You are the one still talking about it. You, sports minister, open your mouth to say that it's like the door is open. You, sports minister. Why did you have to say something like that? Coach said, Charlie, he doesn't see the need for that. Stick by that. I don't want to keep any Otoado any slight excuse for him because we're born. Me this group that we why people are expecting like anything other than first would have been a disaster. Group we could have qualified without the coach. This group. This group said we shouldn't have dropped 1.7. This group. So let's not act like the way they are moving to them is annoying to me, Charlie. Let me relax.
Also, one thing I would also say is that about the pride thing, we don't even have to make it about national pride or any of that. I think that's all part of how they make this whole situation very emotional and move it beyond the point of logic. Because even Spain waited how many years to finally call Laporte? I think it was finally like 27 when he finally decided to play for Spain over France, because he kept waiting for France to call him up. For some reason, the Sham say no like him, so he kept waiting. Finally, he decided to go to Spain. And all that time, Spain kept going back to check whether he's now interested before finally decided to play for them. He was part of the Euro 2024 winning squad. So, like, it doesn't have to be a matter of pride. I think they also did something similar with Diego Costa. When they waited for him, he was also waiting for Brazil. I think Brazil never called him up. So he finally chose to play for Spain. So, like, it's something that it's not just us who do it. Like, I don't know whether it's our inferiority complex that makes us think that it's a matter of pride or something. But, like, the big countries also do it when there's opportunity. I remember way back when Adnan Januzaj broke out for Man United, and there was a whole conversation about which countries he's eligible to play for. And at the time, he wasn't even eligible for England. But England were already having conversations that, okay, we're in 2014. By 2019, if he hasn't played for any of the other 4 countries that he's eligible for. And at the time it was Albania, Kosovo, Belgium, and some other countries. They were saying that if he hasn't played for all those other countries by that time he could be eligible for a UK passport, and then we'll go bring him in. England were willing to wait 5 years for a boy who was 17 or 18 years at the time, hoping that he no go play for anybody else, so that finally they go get him. Like, when you think that you have somebody who can improve you, you are willing to do what you have to do, because in the end, it's
They
all
make it
about
do like
does
it be
this
African,
person,
it be African team.
yeah, like in the end, it's all about does this person improve us. Morocco recently they managed to pull Brahim Diaz because he was picking Spain over them. They waited. Finally, the guy said, "Okay, finally, me I go play for Morocco." Like, it happens everywhere. It's not anything unusual for a player, like for a country to want to wait for a player who they think can improve
this
them.
team them are girls fine so no with the who the woke up what we name
Cape Verde.
Who's good?
Cape Verde. What be my strategy? They're not go
They
around.
can't-
If you even
It's
if you
full
even
of-
visit the country, if you even visit the country, they will tell you once you visit, you are qualified. What are they doing? Portuguese descent, other descent. Like, how many people became Verdian? Do you get it? Once you get some small, they will go Division 1 for some league. You are playing active football. Charlie, we'll give you passport and things. You go play for we. You two, you go love play. People are doing all the life. Like, they are making it look like it be like some, like, Ghanaian. And look, tell me, 9 out of 10, most of the players that have come to play for Ghana, they've done well.
Yeah.
Most of the players that they've done well. If Naki said he can't win, no score goals, he was still dangerous, helped our team. Christian Usabe played well in 2008. One of our best players 2010 was Prince Wati. Without him, like, we don't go where we go. Let's not kid ourselves. Jiku, like, let's not kid ourselves. Let me cannot do like all this thing, not be why? The day are you then they're not the option like they will play for France. Why would they do like why would they do like it be some like only African thing where African pay they go chase player? It appear everywhere. It appear everywhere. Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco. It appear everywhere. Ivory Coast, it appear everywhere. But we don't do like it be whip away. And as you said, it's about the quality of player. Will they improve you? If they will, why? I said right now we don't get striker. Inaki self can make injury prone. Somebody will be Iron Man before he start playing for Ghana and I start hits. Agenda day be that.
Me, I tell you, say, when in doubt, it's old age. Just talk them. It be old age. They grow. Okay? Good. You just they grow. That be like,
But yeah, generally, like, I feel like we should be more open to these conversations than we are right now. It shouldn't be a matter of us against them or whatever it is that we've made it. The one that annoys me the most is the whole if you don't play the qualifiers, then World Cup make you not play. Like, it's not that. So are you saying that? So right now, if everybody, like maybe half of the team that play the qualifiers, then lose form ahead of the World Cup, by force, because they play qualifiers, we hold them a neck, like they hold their neck, carry them all go.
World Cup 2006. How many players play the qualifiers? How many players? Which players then go to the World Cup? Why would they do like? I mean, you see how many Dramani can play. You see that they can play.
They like the fight. Why? You not think they like the cause trouble. You like that too. Smyly, move on. Make you not listen to move on.
like honestly, like, it's just something that we should just approach from a completely logical perspective.
That's all.
It not be family affair we go do for the World Cup. The World Cup, we are going there to compete. We are not going there to dish out caps to people as a reward for what they've done in the past.
Smyly, if you stop they talk that, you know. This is Ghana. You thought it not be family. Everything is a family affair.
It's not family where they take money from your family. Family where they take bribe, they make 4 players.
If you go do funeral way, you get contribution where you know one pay. No be able to pay you go sort amount they make you will make you pay family contribution.
Mola, so why will continue?
Everything with family affair, you can't tell them not to make it about like not to consider. That's exactly how you consider it.
It be so funny that the AFCON qualifiers was much tougher than the World Cup qualifiers.
Nobody
When
will
we
talk
met
about the
proper
fact that we
teams,
know the go AFCON, but you listen.
when we met proper teams in the AFCON qualifiers, see the way we tire. See what Kwesi Appiah do. This World Cup qualifier, we see the team. See the teams today what our group is like. And Jordan has this goals, number of goals, and I say, make you go miss proper defense, they go do what they do. No. People forget that most of Jordan assists to be corner kick. It be corner kick. Most of the assists be corner kick.
Make you don't move to my captain.
No. See, the reality go hit people, we go slap them. If they go meet real ballers for the World Cup, you they wait. You go see, wait now.
I saw a statistic that said I think 50% or around 50% of the goals you scored in general in the qualifiers were from set pieces. So
yes,
we have a problem.
That's why Jordan
open play.
Oh, that's where Jordan get most of his assists from. Set pieces. So I don't know why people they do like this thing energy boom. This one like why are we acting like you know be corner and things we they take get. So me Charlie guy. Whatever they go do, more grease to their elbow.
Anyway, we've come to the end of this episode. If you haven't done it already, please follow our social media pages: Twitter, Instagram, ATW Podcast GCR, TikTok, After the Whistle. Subscribe to the YouTube. And also, we are still on the other podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, wherever you could find podcasts, we did there. So, and again, subscribe to the YouTube. We'll talk this things. So, yeah, anyway, Charlie, guys, we've had a very long episode, even though the final thing that will come out to not be as long as what we've been sitting here recording for. But yeah, Charlie, thank you for joining us, Crack Van Gelder. And as always, ATW dominates the conversation.